Happy New Year! What a treat to have some snow and wind and cold. Finally feeling some winter here this January of 2022. I've really been enjoying the phrase, you do you in 2022. And so this morning I want to invite you to let go of New Year's resolutions. Let go of the sense of this year, how your life will be totally different. Because I think most of us have the experience with the fact that that's just not doable. And we set ourselves up for frustration and disappointment and mostly shame and self-judgment when we pick goals and resolutions that are not in line with the slow and subtle change that really is the part of the human experience. Not the overnight miracle cures, but the commitment to deep self-care, to nurturing relationships, the joy of exploration, all the exciting aspects of life. They tend to be cumulative. You may be familiar with the concept of setting a New Year's intention instead. This was first introduced to me, 8 or 9 years ago. And the premise is that you pick a word of the year that is your intention that you'd like to focus on and nurture that intention in various aspects of your life. This gets us away from the whole idea of, I want to lose 10 pounds in the new year, or I want to, I want to never be late on my deadlines at work, or I want to shift my family patterns and never have an argument again. It's just not doable. So for an intention, for a word of the year, how does one begin? Well, one might reflect on 2021. And first, I invite you to get out a notebook, take some time, a journal, and write down what are the major events that happened in 2021 in your life. They could be events that happened in the larger world, right? COVID is affecting all of us. But it also can be your navigation of your diagnosis, a loved one's illness. It could be a beautiful sunrise that you saw, a trip you went on, a birth in the family, a death. What are the things you've been navigating? And as you write out each event, notice you did it. You made it through. And what helped you to do it? So it's not reviewing the year looking for deficits. It's reviewing the year looking at what went well, even in events that were really challenging. How did you show up in a way that felt good? And then look at what were the resources, the internal and the external resources through that hardship or that challenge or that joyful memory. What were the resources that helped you to experience it in the way that you did? Perhaps one resource, I know for me, I have a morning practice of journaling. And that's a huge resource for me because it helps keep me in a place of being reflective and also observing rather than feeling so reactive to my life. So that's one resource. Resources can be families and friends. Resources can be financial. Resources can be maybe things that you did for your health, supports that you had. Maybe you have an amazing team around you, whether that's PT or oncologist or acupuncturist or therapist. Look at your resources from the past year. And as you acknowledge those resources, internal and external, I invite you to look at what would be a deepening of these resources. Perhaps it's a deepening of existing friendships. Perhaps it's a deepening of a body practice, like a yoga practice, right? And what would be the very next step, like the smallest little step that would help you to deepen those resources? And as you journal, you might notice certain words start to appear. Maybe a word would be to listen. Like, I need to listen to my body more. I think that's a goal, or to listen to the love that my friends have for me. A word could be receive. Things went well this year when I didn't strive so hard, when I received the supports around me. Words like rest, reflection, reflecting over reacting. Words like to be instead of to do so much. In a yoga practice, in a journaling practice, noticing what words pop up, and then, and this is just one way to do it, but then think about the different categories of your life. And so for me, my word this year is process. Process over product is the impetus behind it. Process, to be present in the here and now and enjoying the process. And then when I go through each category of my life, how does this apply? So the category of my work, what's the process of building my business, or meeting with my clients, or planning retreats, over the numbers, right? I don't want to get too caught up in how many people did I serve, what was my income. Those are all important, but those are the product, they're the outcome. In my health and fitness, the process of enjoying taking care of my body, not the product of what it looks like, or what the scale says, or which pants fit. In my relationships, the process of deepening them, the process of working on conflict resolution, not the product of having perfect communication all the time. So as you go through each category of your life, you can examine how this word or intention for the year might play out. And you might even take some time to create a vision board, make drawings, cut out images from magazines, create an image of how this theme or intention for the year, this one word, if you really lived it, what it would look like in action. And place that board, that vision board, somewhere in your home that you get to see and be inspired by daily. My invitation for this, again, is to help you step away from the shoulds of self-care, which I've talked about in another video before, the difference between the should and shaming, or escape and indulge. This is a manner in which we can lean into nurturing and tending ourselves by looking at the deeper themes and trusting that week after week, month after month, year after year, we are growing in the ways that we're ready to grow, right where we should be. We don't need to try to be like our neighbor, like our best friend, like our mother or daughter or sister. We get to be exactly where we are. And if we can lean into that, embrace it, then perhaps we will, as we move through the year, celebrate all that we already have and all that we already are. As I say this, I feel warmth in my body rising from my chest, and offer you wishes for truly a beautiful 2022 in which you get to do you. Thanks for tuning in, and enjoy the day.